Welcome to the RS2G podcast, where I motivate, inspire listeners by discussing failures, success, and the journey of a rebirth. If you are someone who wants to hear the honest truth from a host that puts his right hand to God, as I interview people who have built empires and sometimes watched them crumble as their lives have taken an unexpected twists and turns, this podcast is for you. Life is not always easy. And as a combat military veteran, active military for 14 years, I know about sacrifice and facing fears and true loyalty. I can't wait to take you on this rebirth journey with myself and my guests as we discuss life and living with your right hand to God. Boom.
It's a capsule.
Welcome to the RH2G podcast, and where we inspire, motivate, and hustle. And I wanted to bring a special guest on today, Miss Angela Marie. And you know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that we wanted to spotlight her success and her trial and tribulations going through entrepreneurship and moving to Tampa. Can you introduce the world to who you are? Look into this camera right here.
Yes, I'm Erica Marie. I am a purpose leader coach and visionary entrepreneur. And I am really shaking up the world and making people successful and really identifying their vision and their purpose in life.
Definitely. I'm glad to have you on here. I know we switched the whole little situation up just to fit us so we can interview you and get you on, because we got a special event coming up July 20th. Can you tell us about that real quick?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We have the Beautiful Breakthrough Conference on July 20th right here in Tampa Bay. I cannot believe that I'm here back again. I was here as a kid. But this Beautiful Breakthrough Conference is really going to be for women, to empower women in a different way, to identify their purpose, to really get them in their understanding of who they are and knowing that it's already inside of them. That's the little secret that people mostly don't know. But yeah, it's going to be an incredible room, beautiful guest speakers, amazing guest speakers like yourself, as well as a panelist that is going to be all women that really identify with understanding pain, purpose, and the process of it, and then really giving back to the people. So it's going to be a room you're not going to want to miss. So if you're in Tampa Bay and you're a woman really identifying your entrepreneurship or your professional leadership, on July 20th, show up.
Can you tell us how to get tickets?
Absolutely. So you're going to want to go to lifesizelove.com. All the information is there. You can have a general admission ticket, as well as still have a couple of spots left for VIP.
There you go.
And there's some special access there for that.
Definitely. Yeah. I'm excited to even, be in the presence of, that situation, but it's crazy how it all fell in our lap. Yes. And I wanted to, bring you on to show the world about who you are and just explain the situation that everybody goes through in life. But, these are untold stories. Everybody talks about the success in entrepreneurship and the gold and the sparkles and the top of the mountain. But how do we get there? Mm-hmm. And I saw your story, and we, God put us in the same position. You're a coach, I'm a motivational speaker. You're doing things for the women. And I told God, I didn't tell God, but me and God had a conversation, because I speak to him all the time. And I said, God, I just want to be in the right rooms. And my target market was military, because I was military, combat stress, all that stuff. Women, and kids. Yes. And God brought you to me. And you happen to be putting on the show July 20th, 2 days after my birthday, a day after my graduation with my master's. And I said, hey, how can I be a part of your amazing platform to talk to these women? Because I think they need to hear from a man too that's been through struggles, that has a mirror reflection. So can you tell us about how did you come up with this idea to have a women's conference?
Here's the thing. When you understand vision, you understand that you really identify your purpose. And my purpose is to make others successful. Yeah. But God was very clear that it was women. Women have been my number one challenge, and they have been my number one success. Wow. I am one of 6 women in my sisters, and then I have 3 beautiful women that I'm raising with a son. And I feel like every partnership, every business aspect of me has been with really supporting women. And I love women. I love everything about us. I love being a woman. And I know our roles. And I think one of the things that God really birthed in me was understanding that I have I'm equipped with everything
Right.
to help other women be successful
Right.
in an honest way, in a transparent way, in an authentic way,
Right.
in supportive, right, and collaborative.
Right.
And so women of our generation are very competitive.
Right.
We are our own demise. We think it's men. It's
Right.
definitely not. But we're our own competition. And so I'm here to change that. I'm here to disrupt it.
Definitely.
I'm here to make a difference
Definitely.
and love women. And that's what I do. I love women and I lead with love.
Right.
God is the center of everything that I do.
Right. And I appreciate you just even elaborating on that, and then even bringing me on as a keynote speaker to speak to these women is big, because I manifested it.
Yes, you did.
And it is right here.
And it just happened.
It is crazy
Yeah.
because it feels like we've known each other for a long time. Like you say you was your old stomping grounds was Arizona.
Yes.
I used to be in Scottsdale all the time.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Because I was
crazy.
stationed in El Paso, so I used to go to Arizona to go party all the time.
That's
all
so
the time. You know what I'm
wild.
saying? I have friends that live there. Even my brothers, my high school friends, some of them live there, so I would go tap in with them. So that's crazy. I was like, I swear I saw you before.
Listen, this is probably, but divinity is real, and God's divine connections are real. And when I understand purpose partners, and whether you've discovered them not or anything, I think really God was like, this is him. This is one of them.
Yeah.
And I knew that. That's why there was such a connection. I was like, oh, I feel like we've known each other, right, for so
definitely.
long. But there are connectors, right?
Right.
And things that we can go back to and be like, man, I feel you on that,
Right,
right?
right,
And that's why
definitely.
real recognizes real.
Definitely.
But I feel like the understanding that I had, I was like, if you want to speak like this, I want you to speak,
Yeah,
right? Like if you're
definitely.
willing, and I think the heart of your willingness.
Yes.
I would say, what's the word I want to use? The mirror of inspiration and passion towards women.
Yeah.
And knowing that they are the home sometimes, right? They are the vessel that gets used for our children. And so that's so powerful to have a man actually set up and say, like, I'm here for women as well. I'm
Yeah,
here for
definitely.
kids.
Yeah.
And I want them to know that I got them in a different kind of way.
Right.
And it's, to hear from a man, to not hear the things that I feel like women have to go through to hear as far as like the outer,
Right.
but to tap into women, into their soul, into their spirit, and into their, purpose of life
Right.
is beautiful to see. And it makes you that much more rich to me,
Right.
Just because you're passionate about women and
Right.
kids. And, we mirror that.
Yeah, definitely.
Because definitely youth is my thing as well.
I love that because, my grandmother had a big part of raising me because my mother passed away. And I always had that softer side of that because my sister, she was venturing out doing a lot of things and, drugs. And my mom she died of AIDS. My grandmother was a big mantle in my family to try to keep it together. You know what I'm saying? And she's 93 now. And she's still trucking on. And I love the fact that I can relate and listen. I know I hear these crazy debates online and social media about what men don't do, what women don't do. And I'm like, why are we beating each other up? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And at the end of the day, I'm in no position to talk about marriages because I've never been married, but I see a lot of marriages. But I tell people all the time, like, I don't talk or do I don't do nothing that's associated with situations that I've never been directly involved with.
Right.
Because I think that's gossiping. I can listen and I actively listen, but if I have been there, I could tell my side of the story too, of me, how my father raised me and the traits that he gave me. It's a lot of women traits: how to clean, how to cook, how to take care of myself, because my grandmother taught him. So a lot of them traits I have already too. Do I lack my mom? Do I miss her? Yes. But at the end of the day, I understand because right now my sister lives with me.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? I was a part of her rehabilitation for her getting back to her feet. And now she's stronger than ever. She's the CEO of my company, RH2G.
I love that.
All women is around me.
so
My
good.
cousins is my manager. My other cousin is my personal assistant. So I got all these women around me, you know what I'm saying, that's helping me provide my structure to my company, because my last company failed because I didn't have that surveillance. I didn't have that pack of wolves. In the jungle, it's all female lions around one lion.
Now
Always.
you're really speaking my language.
Always. And they protect they go get the food, everything.
Absolutely.
And they there.
Absolutely. Without a pride.
They're the warriors.
Woo. Yeah.
They're intelligent.
Yes.
So if you get a pack of female lions, like I got around me,
Yeah.
I can't get distracted by the outer appearance of, oh, this woman wants something else from you, right? So they help me differentiate that, because sometimes it's hard. It's like, I go out to, I coach. I thought this was oh, this is a date. I didn't ask for a date. You know what I'm saying? But,
Yes.
you know, I'm able to look at that situation differently. But I'm
Sure.
happy to go speak to these women because I know a lot more than the average male about females and how they can, you know what I'm saying? Hey, if a right male tell them what they should or should not do, I think they'll listen. You know what I'm saying? They'll take
Absolutely.
that temperament down to a point to where they've been through a lot. You guys go through so much that's
Mhm.
unheard of, just like
Mhm.
men.
Mhm.
And you don't talk about it. And I'm happy to go into this conference just to hear what you
Yes.
guys experience. So I can tell my story because I got two daughters.
Yeah.
I got a daughter that's 23 and I got a daughter that's 13. And
Wow.
guess who's going to tell them these experiences? Their mom, but also their pops too. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Yeah, I'm a daddy's girl.
Yeah. I love my love
So
my
yeah,
girls.
my
Yeah.
dad was incredible. I lost him in 2016,
My
and when he
condolences.
transitioned, thank you. But one of the things that I love about him was, he would always identify his girls as, yes, being beautiful, right? And he's like, I'd have all shapes, I have all sizes, I have all colors. But he would always say, your beauty's from the inside.
Right.
And what makes the strength from the inside is really identifying what those
Right.
beauties
Right.
are, and really putting words to them,
Right.
right? And putting characteristics and morals
Right.
and founding principles. And he really poured into us. He
Right.
really did. He made us all feel like
Right.
we were loved individually, like
Right.
we were all daddy's
Mm-hmm.
girls. And he had this beautiful way about him, but he also taught me a lot about men.
Right.
And he was my number one teacher,
See?
right? Of how to have a man, how to have a husband,
Yeah.
right? What to expect,
Yeah.
what not to expect. And so he always poured into me. But going back really to the lioness in me, and why my programs are lioness in leadership.
Okay.
And the reason why is because, singly, I'm strong. Singly, I could go out, get the food, come back, right? Feed my king, and we're good. And I can feed my cubs. But together, the pride has a whole different
Purpose.
attitude and purpose. And so when I think about lions, I love Dr. Miles Monroe. He is one of my, I would say, mentors at heart
Right.
that I never got to meet in person. But learning his principles around even leadership and vision, he uses the analogy
Right.
of lions. And lions make the pride together. They make that pride, and together they change things,
Right.
right? But when they walk into a room, you know who they are,
You know exactly.
right? And
Yeah.
so it's an attitude that I really have taken on. And it's what I give,
Right.
to other women, and I give it to my youth.
Right.
I give it to my young mentees
Right.
who are striving to be leaders in their own right, but they have this different resilience and fortitude about them, and strength that they get to couple and collaborate and talk
Right.
with each other. And we talk about pain.
Right.
We talk about what you've been through, what your story
Right.
really molded you into, and how do we use that as power.
Right.
And that's my 5 Ps, and I
Yeah.
can go on and on.
Yeah.
But, God has really shown me that there is a beauty in that. And that is the attitude that I possess. And I'm a leader in excellence.
Definitely. And I
because
love
of it.
that too.
Thank you.
My dad had some strong women around him, which was his sisters and his mother. And then, when my mother passed away, my dad didn't get married till I was a senior in high school. So he married my mother, my stepmom, Lucy.
Okay.
And she created this program when I was small, not small, I was in high school. Before I went into the Army, called More Precious Than Rubies. It was a women's program, and explaining that they're more precious than rubies. And as a young man, I didn't understand what that meant to now, the value of a woman. I knew, but as a man, it's like, okay, now you're growing up to your own, and you know what I'm saying, you attract a certain type of women, and you out here and dating, but also you got to value every woman that comes into your life, JR. Is not going to be this, that, and the third, but they
Right.
also will bring you a certain type of value. And if they don't, cut them out.
Right.
So once I learned that, and my dad taught me that, and my stepmom and my grandmother, then I started to separate. Okay, not every woman is for me.
Yeah.
Okay, like as a male, it's like,
Serious.
okay, I
Yeah.
could do this, that, and the third, right? But once you understand the value of a woman, you don't want to play with that situation.
Right.
So I try not to play or mess with a woman's spirit.
Right.
Even if I
Right.
say, oh, she's attractive. All right, Jay, I stay on course because God said no. And God will tell me, like, no, don't keep it
Not that one.
professional. And 99% of the time, I will keep that professional to a point to where it's like, okay. And if God keeps speaking to me, I know that's hey, you know what? That you can love her longer by being her friend. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Yeah,
hard. And
that's
I would tell
hard.
that to some men, like to both parties, because even women, they don't think that guys can have girlfriends.
Correct.
We can have girlfriends,
Absolutely.
but we got to know how to handle ourselves in that situation.
Correct.
And be appropriate and understand the value. So now I dial it back and say, you know what? I'd rather have her for 20, 30 years of my life than mess that up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what comes across for me all the time, even when I'm in the presence of more women, because, I'm not saying I'm the most attractive person, but I do. I tell my dad all the time, I said, Dad, I get hit on more times than I say no. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I turn down more times.
Sure.
Because it's like, no, I'm okay. I just want to be, if I'm talking to you, not because I'm hitting on you, I'm trying to help correct the situation.
Yes.
I'm sorry if it comes out this way, but this is what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to be at this level in my life. I'll be 43 next week.
Wow.
And I have saw a lot, done a lot, been here, been around, lost my mom, helped a lot of people, been through situations with PTSD, TBI, mental health struggles. And recently, God has said, this is it. This is your time. And you had something to
Yes.
do with that. And I appreciate you.
Absolutely, for sure. I want to address as a woman coach really that as well. It has been one of my biggest challenges to, mentor and coach men. Right. One of the things that I learned very quickly
They take it the
was
wrong way.
they take it the wrong way, or they were comparing me to who they were in partnership with. And it becomes a conflict, right? And I can't marry everyone. I'm not meant to be everyone's wife.
No. Yeah.
But I knew quickly that, God can give you the restraint and that he's able to be the Holy Spirit can navigate you
Right.
through those type of situations. And I learned also too, and this is what I encourage you with, is, to understand the access that we give
Right.
others. And you start to protect and you start to really, reserve, right? And preserve, because it's so important to not have everyone have that level of access to you, right? Our coaching and how we pour into others, we have the blueprint. It's already set up. So we know our guardrails. But if we go outside of that, right, that's where the enemy, I think, can come in.
Yeah.
So I really learned that quickly that managing, and I've coached some great men, and I can't say enough about the ones that have stayed with me through the journey. But those who didn't fell off for a reason, right? And there was a protection that I needed to take for myself to make sure that I was staying in purpose, that I was staying in position, and I was protected.
Right.
So I know that it happens. I feel the same way.
Right.
But one of the things that I love is that God will not let you go farther than what's necessary.
Exactly.
Right.
Right.
And so you will have friendships. I have great friendship, male friendships,
Right.
that don't go farther
Right.
because of that.
Right.
And so it's an encouragement. But what I adore about you already, and I know that God's love is in you.
Right.
And there was that, it's like I saw a brother of kingdom.
Right.
And that is priceless. That's
Right.
invaluable.
Definitely.
And I would take this one
Yeah.
over a million
Definitely.
others. It's one of my favorite sayings. I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies.
Right. And I appreciate that because I work hard on trying to just be me.
Yes.
And also articulating that, hey, it may look like this, but I really care.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that every man is not trying to get something from that woman.
Right.
Which in this world is something always wants someone from that person.
Absolutely.
And that's
What's
men
in
or
it for me?
What's in it for me? And that's okay if it's
Yeah,
business.
sure.
But when it goes from business to certain situations, are you prepared for that? I think a lot of us fail to prepare. In the military, we call it PCCs or PCIs, pre-combat checks and pre-combat inspections. We didn't do anything until we did our PCCs and PCIs. We didn't just like, we grab our weapons, we run it out. No, we talk about the mission. We do a rock drill about the mission. We have a Fraggle, we have a Warno, we have a SIP rep, and then we go to our mission. And when we come back, we make sure we debrief.
Wow.
And that's what everything I do with clients,
Yes.
with friendships, with relationships, with everything. And we just jumping in to jump in it. We know we're going to expect turbulence. And if you expect turbulence and nothing happens, then we have a good day. But if you don't and it hits and you surprised, that's one of my my TED Talks is about the turbulence of relationships and situations and things we go through. Are you prepared? Most of us, when we go through that turbulence situation, we want to help somebody else.
Yeah.
Like when I was going through my bankruptcy and everything I was going through when I was losing my company, I'm still helping other people, but I didn't put the mask on myself. So I'm losing oxygen trying to breathe, and I'm trying to help everybody, even my kids and my family. To God was like, JR, breathe. And when I decided to breathe, God took that situation away from me and the people that was draining me, right? So I helped so many people, but I wasn't charging anything. God was like, if you're going to be a coach and a mentor, and if I'm telling you to do this, you got to charge. You get paid $40, $50 from your job, right? You get paid 6 figures from your job, charge them. And I was talking to Danny about that. It's like, at the end of the day, I had a lady, I was walking my neighborhood. And the lady stopped me. She was like, you're JR? And I was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, you're the hood motivator. I'm like, yes, I am. She was like, I hear your messages all the time. I don't know this lady. I just moved into this division. They have an HOA page.
Okay.
So I hopped on the Facebook. This is me, introduced myself. Been there 4 months. People listen to my messages. And God said, be careful. You might be entertaining angels unawarely.
Yeah.
So I'm walking
Absolutely.
about 9 o'clock at night. My little dog, Mega, shout out to him.
So cute, by the way.
Yeah. we were walking and lady pulled up on her driveway. So I let her go, and I was gonna keep walking. She was like, You're JR? And I'm like, yes. And she was like, I listened to your messages, and then I started to key in. But like, I'm in a neighborhood where it's just one of me, right? If you understand how it's just me. There's nobody that look like me.
Right.
So I'm not gonna make no fast movements or anything. So I got my dog, I back up, and she's talking to me. I didn't approach the car, so I'm listening to her. She was like, yeah, I've been married 40-something years, and I see her license plate that says disabled veteran, like mine. I'm like, oh, okay, she's a military veteran. She's like, no, my husband, he recently lost both his legs. He was in a Vietnam War. He started to go downhill 15 years ago. He's in a home now, and I go see him twice a week. And I hear your messages, and I feel like you're the only person that can relate to him. And she said, I don't have nobody to talk to. Then she just broke down and cried at her driveway. And it touched my heart because it's like, I don't know this woman,
Right.
but she
God
knows
has a
me.
way.
And she said, God sent me an angel. It gave me chills. She said, God sent me an
Seriously.
angel. And then she started to talk some more. And she's like, if you have time, can we talk sometimes? I said, I can help you too. And I told her the other day, I gave her my calendar. And I said, hey, I would love to go see your husband twice a week just to go talk to him. He's a veteran. He lost both his legs. I was a veteran, Iraqi and Afghanistan, vet. I did my time. And I said, I would love to. And she said, can you help me too? I said, mark some time on my calendar. I talk to you too, and whatever I can do, because you never know where that goes. And right now, I'm not even talking about money. I'm talking about inspiration. This is a human being that needs us, right?
Yeah, so that will get me emotional because what I know to be true is that we are in a generation of ambition. Get the yacht, get the millions, preserve, right? Spend, whatever. And I get that, and I respect it, right? I understand money is an energy, and I know. But when situations like that happen, and you can be an angel on earth yourself through your purpose, that for me is what we are called to do.
Right.
That is what God is requiring of you.
Right.
That is your gift. That is your destiny. And our provision will be made for us.
Right.
But if we don't walk in that and we don't do what is called of us, to me, you're useless on this earth.
Right. Yeah.
And so one of the things that I'm so passionate about is not yielding to the people who say your self-sacrificing will be your demise.
Yeah.
My stores of treasure are in heaven. Right? I want God to be pleased. So I've had all the things. I've built the businesses 6 figures or more, right? And lost them and went through bankruptcy a decade ago, almost, and all the things. But I didn't understand my vision and my purpose. And I didn't understand why, right? I was going through what I was going through, but I was looking for the money. I was looking for, manifesting my millions. And I wanted to, be the first millionaire in my family and all the things. And God set me straight with a humbling that was so beautiful, But it was one that it was like, although broken, I was rebuilt in this beautiful mosaic of strength. That was to say, you're now operating in your destiny.
Right.
Now you're operating in purpose.
Right.
And it's not about provision. I got you.
Right.
Connections. I got you.
Right.
Right. I'll put you in the rooms.
Yeah.
I'll put your name in people's mouths
Right.
without you even knowing.
Right.
But my intention and my ambition was off.
Right.
And so will we be taken care of? Absolutely. Will he give us abundance? Absolutely. Are we children and heirs of Christ? Absolutely. That never will be in question.
Right.
But what you did for her life and what you're opening yourself up to her husband is, to me, invaluable.
Right.
And that's where God is pleased.
Right.
That's where you
Right.
get to hear the words, I know you.
Right.
Right? Come in, versus depart from me, I never knew you.
I never knew you. Yeah,
Right? Because materials, these things rust and
Right.
they go away. And
Right.
I always say you can't take a hearse
Right.
to your grave.
Right, right,
Right?
right.
What's it really building?
Right.
And I'm not saying don't live your life.
Right.
And I'm not saying don't be happy in it and
Right.
have those happy moments and feel like you can provide the
Right.
nice things for yourself. That's definitely not what I'm saying.
Right.
But we do have to get into purpose. And when you discover that, it'll change your life.
My name is Dr. J.R. McIntyre. I'm a certified motivational speaker and a social media influencer, and I can't wait to teach you how to excel your real estate business on the LinkedIn platform. LinkedIn is actually the most underrated social media platform. In my class, Elevate Your Real Estate Success for LinkedIn Mastery, you will learn 3 key principles. Number 1, how to generate your high quality leads. Number 2, get personal branding and excellence. Number 3, strategic networking strategies. If you want to be a disruptor in the real estate industry, this class is definitely for you. I'll see you online, and I can't wait to take your LinkedIn profile to the next level. JR out. Boom.
Your life.
I'm glad you hit on that because
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends that are coaches and, and they're making money.
Yeah.
And doing financial things and credit and all that. And, sometimes we get away from making so much money where we can't just be simple and just have a simple conversation
Right.
and help somebody that's in need, right? I think they get so further up the top that they don't even know how to differentiate no more what it looks like no more, right?
no.
And I'm blessed that God blessed me with a good heart. And my good heart, I can notice that I can talk to you right here.
I could get so emotional right now.
Right. And I don't need
I
I
feel
don't need a
God's
dollar,
presence.
right? I don't need a dollar.
Right.
But you get these people that's and excuse me for turning up, that's on social media and they're making tons of money and they're coaches and motivational speakers and helping people with credit and doing all these things, but they won't make a move if you don't make a deposit.
Correct.
And your deposit is your heart. And I'm not gonna get into that because
Yeah.
I
We
got
need a whole nother
my chill
episode.
my chill bumps are coming, but I just wanted to let
Serious.
the audience know that when God blesses you with a passion and a gift, when He say move, you move.
Yes.
And He ain't making you move off $1 million.
Right.
That's the ultimate goal, is to set your family free, financially free. And I know
Absolutely.
I'm going to be there because I
will.
struggled with what I told you when I first met you. God was been tugging at my heart like, JR, you finally got this six-figure job, but you're not happy.
Right.
As a project manager, leave.
fulfillment.
You're not being respected. Leave. I dealt with this problem for almost 4 months. Leave until I spoke to you and you gave me encouragement like, JR, why you still there? Leave. Now, today is the first day I finally said, I am free. I'm not chasing 6 figures to make my life substantial to everybody else. I'm already rich
Yes.
in my spirit.
Say that
I know that
again.
God is already going to provide that. And I
Thank you,
tell people all the
God.
time, people ask me, JR, I got a loan company. I could get you so much funding for your company. How much money you need? I said, just put me in the right rooms.
That's it.
And the right rooms is a women's conference.
Yes.
The right rooms 2 days ago, 2 days before that is the kids event.
Yeah.
The right room is me walking down with my master saying, hey, I'm getting my doctorate. I'm quitting my 6-figure job to chase my motivational career and coaching career
Yeah.
because sometimes it doesn't take money to make you move because what if you don't, what if I never spoke to that lady and I told her it would cost her to talk to me for an hour and something happened to her husband that night?
Right. That life is
When
on
I
you.
got to when I got to where I was going to heaven, God would judge me off of that
Absolutely.
because He didn't say do that.
Right.
He didn't say max everybody out.
Right.
I am adamant about. I'm writing this book called "A Good Heart Don't Pay Bills" because I've been screwed over But sometimes it doesn't take money to make that position move.
Correct.
It takes what we're doing right here.
Absolutely.
And I told you, I said, hey, I want to hop on that.
Yeah.
Because God said, hop on that. And God said, that's the plot. You asked for it, right?
Yeah.
Why are you being scared? Why are you backing up? Tell her you want to be the
do
keynote
it.
speaker in front of these women.
Yes.
Be judged.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm ready.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate you being here
Yeah.
because our energy, we're going to do
It's
great things.
magnetic.
Yeah.
When I tell you, I wish you were in this room.
Yeah.
Because it is an energy that is undeniable.
Right.
But God is incredible.
Right.
And He is the center of our
Right,
lives, and which is why we know this is the power that's
Right.
within, right? And so when we talk about understanding the millions and understanding the mindset and understanding the motivation, I always ask people, you're motivated, but you're a millionaire.
Yeah.
What are you doing
Then
with
what?
it? But what are you doing? I need to know.
Yeah.
How are you changing people's lives?
With that money.
With that money,
Yes.
right? Because they'll get to a place where they get it. But one of the things that has been, and I have to say it here because it's been my challenge, is finding men or women, because it's been both, I've asked both, to mentor in a way that gives you the ability of having someone who has made it or arrived without having to put $150,000 on the table. And when I tell you, one of the things that for me was very shaking, and it really wrecked my spirit, because I was like, God, I have access, like you, to some important people, some influential people, some people who have deep pockets. And when I share a story or purpose or vision or leadership, when I tell you it falls on deaf ears, it has fallen on deaf ears.
Right.
I have sent out, let's say 60, it was just recently, 60 texts, all women who have potentially deeper pockets and that I know,
Right.
to support what we've got going on. Two responded with minimal, right, of what they could bless with, and that's fine, and that it's a blessing, every dollar matters. But when I tell you the stop, don't connect, don't do, I don't the resistance. And I was like, God, what is this?
Right.
What is it that happens when people say, I got you?
Right.
And then when you say, and I'm the type of person, I don't really ask for help.
Right.
I'm not that
Right.
person, right?
Right.
It's God has just blessed me with people in my life to say, I got you. And I can count on one hand
Right.
who that is, when I have access to hundreds.
Right.
But when he taught me this recently, he was like, I know you're going to where I haven't called you to go. And that is a mindset of that they're stuck in, right? That's their place. They're not willing
Right.
to move.
Right.
You position yourself, you're a leader, and it's not about how I'm going to get you there. It's almost like Abraham, right? He was 75.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's just go and I'll let you know when you're there.
Right.
And people think I'm crazy for
Right.
doing what I'm doing.
Right.
To own your own stage, to do it yourself.
Right.
When I had access to partners who did it, who I partnered with a woman, entrepreneur who
Yeah.
was doing it.
Talk about it.
And it was one that God was like, I don't want you sharing a stage.
Right.
I want you owning the
Creating your
stage,
own.
creating your own, because what I put in you is
Right.
for you.
Right.
What I put in you is for you to give others, right? But it's not to be shared. It's not to be together in that platform.
Right.
Because you can't, dark and light don't mix.
It
Let's
ain't-
be clear.
It would never mix.
It will never mix. And I tried to, in my personal story, and we'll go through this a little bit in the Breakthrough Conference, which I pray that you guys can get there. But I yielded to some things that were outside of the Holy Spirit. And I entertained things and when you get to a certain level and you're around certain rooms and around certain people, you'll realize that there are spiritual palm readers. There are spiritual witchcraft, right? Let's talk about it for real.
Yeah.
And I entertained those rooms because of who I was partnered with, because of what I thought they were in purpose in doing, and they really weren't, right? They were allowing behind the scenes some things that weren't of God, but
Right.
yet saying they were of God.
Right.
And God convicted me, and God whooped me, and he broke me in a beautiful way. But he was very clear to me, stop it, because you're losing your soul,
Right.
right? You're losing who you are. You are entertaining entities that are not of me.
Right.
There's only one God.
Right.
And he's a jealous God,
Yeah,
right?
cut it out.
But he only wants his glory,
Yeah.
right? And it's only to edify him. And so any idol or anything else that I was putting in front of, he really was like, stop it.
Right.
And that's a story that a lot of people, as a Christian or as a kingdom builder, you know, people are scared to share. And I'm no longer in fear, right? I fear the Most High, right? There's a different reverence.
Right.
But to say my story and to
Right.
say what I've been through and the rooms that I've entertained and the things that I've seen, I'm here to stand today in confidence knowing that God is on my side.
Definitely.
God healed me of those things, right? He forgave me.
Right.
Most importantly, I forgave myself.
Right. And that's the biggest thing is forgiving yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, take ownership.
Absolutely.
And we talk about that, ownership,
Own
forgiving.
you.
But a lot of people, they talk about it, right?
They don't do it.
They don't do it, right? And that's why we
Say
do
that
it.
again.
And that's why it's harder for us because we're actually doing it. We're not doing it for the looks.
No.
Right? So I'm around a bunch of coaches, and that's crazy you said that.
Yeah.
And when I finally said, hey, I'm going to take this serious and I'm going to quit my job, I asked a few of my coaches, homies, and I said, hey, can I spotlight you? Can I shadow you? Can I hit, brother, my time is waste money. And I'm like, it's me. It's JR. Like, I didn't help you. Like, we didn't talk. I didn't get things for you.
Say that again.
Okay, I got it. And no hard feelings.
Yeah, once you show me your colors, true. I got you.
I'm going to be a different type of person.
Absolutely.
I'm always going to be in mentoring mode. When that's what you want? Come on, because I got my own style, right?
Yeah.
So when I decided to step out to motivational speak after my bankruptcy, which people don't know the history of my speaking. I've been speaking since I was a little boy because my dad's a pastor, my grandfather's a pastor. My dad's a bishop. Let me correct that.
Okay.
Bishop Joel McIntyre. My grandfather is a Dr. Richard George Harris. He was a doctor in theology. That's inspired me to get my doctorate. But I've been doing this. God, this has been my gift. I've been running away from it, like Jonah.
Yes.
I've been running away from it because I wanted to do something else. And God was like, you ready to listen now? I'm going to tear everything you built, and I want you to focus on that. So when I start to focus, I had a group of individuals like, yeah, Jerry, you're an awesome speaker. Do this. We're going to put you on tour. Do this. But you got to change your image. This is who I am. I'm from Long Beach, California, North Long Beach. My mother died of AIDS. She was on crack. I'm a crack baby. I used to gangbang. I went into the military. I fought for my country, 55 months. I lost a lot of friends. I deal with mental health issues. I've never been married. I don't think I can't sometimes. I have kids out of wedlock. I'm a very dysfunctional individual. This is what makes the hood motivator, though. Oh, corporate don't like that.
Yeah.
There's a group of people that like my style. I felt bad. I was like, I almost changed it. Then I took who I was and me.
I changed.
And my camera.
I changed
man,
it and had to learn to not to.
And I said, no, I'm going to do this.
Wow,
And I'm going to create my own conference. And this is the conference I have that's this year, Shake the Room.
Shake the Room.
Because nobody in that circle believed in me. They wanted to use my expertise, but didn't believe in me.
Yes.
That's why I got the master's for them. That's why I'm in school for my doctor. It's not for me.
Right.
It's to show you that someone like me could get that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to flex on you because at the end of the day, this is what God put on my heart.
Right.
You didn't want to take my natural abilities because you didn't want to use me because of my image. But when I open my mouth, I'm very intellectual.
Right.
That's what shocks people.
Absolutely.
And I can do this better than you. And the idols I look up to, which you're not supposed to idol,
No. Right. I know what you mean.
I reached out to them. Eric Thomas, Zig Ziglar, all these, Tony Robbins, all these guys, DM'd them. No response.
Right.
I said, it's my time.
It's your time.
Because I'm hunting.
Right.
You guys.
Right.
I'm used to this. I'm used to war. I'm used to combat. I'm used to situations with my back against the wall. I am coming. And this is a public announcement. I will be the top veteran motivational speaker in the world.
Yes,
I
you
will be the top coach in my era. I will be the top mentor, and I will work with everybody who wants to work with me. And I ain't gonna charge you a dime.
Yeah.
Because this is what God wants from us.
Absolutely.
And that's why we work together.
Yeah, it's kingdom building. Absolutely. That's why but that is my story, right? Like that is the same thing was having a partnership and being part of a team that was all about not fitting the image necessarily, right? But I showed up as who I am. I'm a hat lady.
Right.
So a lot of people know me. I'm in braids this summer because it's hot here in Tampa, Florida, and the humidity is crazy. But I come in hats. I come in whether it's a snapback or a fedora, right? Like that's me. And I'm not changing for anyone now. However, when I was in corporate, and I was mentored by professional leaders, right, and executives. Being on the C-suite and that level of the 34th floor, you have to look a certain way.
Right.
And you have to appease them. And especially being in rooms as the only minority, right? And rooms where there was no one like looking
Right.
like me. And I couldn't come with braids. I couldn't come with how I normally dress, right? Or and I'm still professional. It's
Right.
never provocative,
Right.
but it's my style.
Right.
And I would get pulled to the side, right? And had a conversation of,
Right.
you shouldn't, do like this. You
Right.
got to be. I'm not, and God was very clear with me. I went from corporate to coaching because for that pandemic and everything
Yeah.
else, God was like, it served its time,
Right.
it served its purpose. But people, when you open your mouth and then they start to see, like, wow,
Right.
it's not that she's just, a kid from Brooklyn
Yeah.
and has this style. She actually has
This is her.
value.
This is her.
Right. This is her. This
Yeah.
is who she is. And she can change rooms. She
Right.
can change lives.
Right.
And I had to really get out of my own way.
Right.
I really let, and I'm honest, right? I let that life lead me until I was led by God, and until I was able to really surrender
Right.
and say, I love who you created.
Right.
I love me.
Yeah.
Right. And when I found myself,
Yeah.
I found him.
There you go.
And I found my purpose and I found my destiny.
Yeah.
But that is an experience and an encounter that I encourage everyone to get to a place where they start to believe
Right.
in themselves.
Right.
Because you have to say yes to you.
Right. Right.
It doesn't matter if I encourage
Right.
you, right? It
Right.
doesn't matter that the people who surround you say
Right.
you got this. You have to believe it for yourself.
Exactly.
That's true authenticity.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? And we can all operate in God's love and
Yeah.
we can operate in love. But the highest energy to operate in is authenticity.
Yeah,
And so
authenticity.
when you're authentically
Yeah.
yourself,
Yeah.
without, people got mad at me because I used to say unapologetic.
Yeah.
They would get so, like, that is
I'm not
catchy and
apologizing.
trending.
Yeah.
I'm not apologizing.
For who I am. God made you for who you are.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
that's
he
you.
made you for who
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah.
But what I love about purpose and vision is that it's already in you.
It's here. Yeah.
It's rebirthing it, so
Yeah.
to speak, and it's like the discovery of
Right.
it. But people don't know, like, your future is already destined.
Right. You just
Your
gotta,
future is already destined.
And it's
that you're gonna
already in
have.
you.
It's already in you.
just gotta activate it.
You have to activate it, and
That's
you
it.
have to be a leader, and you
Right.
do have to say, "I'm going to trailblaze.
Right.
I'm going to make my own lane,
Right. And accept it.
and accept it."
Yeah, who you are, yeah.
That's why I say I love that I hold a compass. I don't hold a map.
Yeah.
Because I know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't know how I'm getting there.
Yeah, definitely.
But the map is already done.
Right.
Right. The map is already
Your
someone's
route is already
route.
set. Yeah.
Right. I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want my own.
Yeah.
And how God is going to position my steps.
Definitely. And
so
and
yeah.
this is part of the yellow brick road right here. God put
Yes.
us on this path together.
Yes, he
and
did.
I believe that people don't understand the analogy when marathon runners run, and they run competitively, and they have a team, and that main runner is being pushed by people behind them that on the naked eye it looks like they're competing,
Right.
but that team individuals are pushing, and that's what I had to create for myself. Is more people around me that I'm inspired by. I'm not talking about the billionaires and the millionaires. I'm talking about regular people like my sister, like my cousins,
Yes.
like my best friend,
Yes.
like friends in my situation that's pushing me. I got a group of men that 4 or 5 years we've been texting each other prayers.
Yes.
35, 40 years of friendship. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
And we just encourage each other. And that's what it's all about. Because
Absolutely.
God also, we have a gift in us that has to be activated.
It's already there.
And it's already there.
Yes.
And you can only be you, right? And when you know the tide is about to shift, when you start seeing people come against you that never even spoke anything ill will towards you, you know that God is using you because now you're disrupting their spirit.
Absolutely.
Because this is I tell people all the time, I'm not the strongest, I'm not the fastest, which I do work out. Mentally, I'm more consistent. You can't buy ambition and consistency in Walmart. You can't get up in the morning,
You sure
4 or
can't.
5 o'clock in the morning, or right now walk down aisle 9 and say, hey, I'm gonna get a little bit of ambition, consistency, leadership. It's in you.
It's in you.
And if you don't have it, get to the back of the line. And that's my message to people. Don't pretend like you got it because these kids are watching.
Correct.
And a lot of people are influencing, but influence these children to do the wrong thing.
Correct.
Right?
And we're here to change that.
I'm here to change that because
Absolutely.
it can look like this. Next week, I walk across the stage with my masters. Who would have known after my bankruptcy that God said, you failed in business and I told you not to go that way, but the only to make it right one of these parts, you have to go get your master's in business. It is not for you. It's for that child that's thinking that they cannot continue. And I tell people all the time, education is not about how smart you are.
No.
It's consistency. Who stayed the longest? I've been in the rooms when they shut the lights off. I cried.
Yes.
God, I just want to be done.
Yeah.
And now, talking to you a couple of weeks ago, I'm starting my doctorate in September, which I was supposed to start next year because I'm taking a bet on myself to say, I'm going to make that 6 figures with my motivational career.
Absolutely.
I'm going to chase down Eric Thomas and everybody that's in front of me to be on them stages and share my message and be who I am, the hood motivator. I'm JR. But at the end of the day, this is what it is. And I appreciate the time and the energy. I want you to tell the world how they can find you on your social medias and stuff like that.
Absolutely. So on Instagram, Life Size Love LLC, and then lifesizelove.com. Everything I'm doing is love in a life-size way.
Right.
So that's how you can find me.
Wow. And what can we expect from this conference?
Breakthrough. A beautiful breakthrough.
Yeah.
I think this generation of, women especially need to identify purpose. They need to identify that discipline that you just talked about, how to do it and how to do it together.
Right.
God, there's a principle of where 2 or more are gathered. Right. And what we know to be true is that we need each other and we are stronger together.
Right.
And I'm going to make sure that room and every woman in that room identifies that and knows how to lead as a lioness.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait to be in the room
so
with these
fire.
wonderful women. I'm glad to help you connect.
Thank you. Yes, you've been a blessing for sure.
When I get back from Nashville, then I'm gonna invite you to the church so you can meet more women like that and connect you with more successful women that I think that, maybe that was God's plan for me to open up that door and go do what you got to do.
Yes.
Because I'm gonna be right along cheering you on. I'm the
Yes,
biggest
we're going to be
cheerleader.
right there, each other's cheerleaders for sure, every way,
And
every step of the way.
Yeah, next week is a big week for me.
It's going to be huge.
I have the kids event on the 18th. The 18th is my birthday.
I know.
That's my birthday gift. Then the 19th, I walk with my masters. And then the 20th, I speak at your event. And then all next week is another huge event, a boxing, huge boxing YouTuber is coming into Tampa to fight on the 20th that night. So I'll be, with some of his team and stuff like that. So God is good and God is moving, and everything you speak, everything you speak positively is coming.
It's coming.
And I want to tell people they better be careful what they speak because God is listening. He's always listening. And my message to you is don't quit. I know there may be nights where you think you're alone. Yeah. And you can't do it. And you're a coach that's coaching millions of people. Take the time to let someone help coach you with nothing. Yeah. And take the time to somebody to say, I care for you. Yeah. I love you. You're great. You're going to do wonderful things. Don't ever doubt it. You got women that's dependent on you, that's ready to pick up a sword just like you and kick the door down. Keep it going. Keep the fire lit no matter what. And I'm proud of you. And don't stop. Yeah. And I'm glad we're here. And thank you so much.
I'm so grateful.
I want you to look into the camera and tell the women, the men, the kids that's watching something inspirational.
Oh, that you're destined to be here and that your purpose is already inside of you. And like he just said to me, I'll tell you, I have this saying, can't stop, won't stop. Don't quit. Don't ever give up on yourself, bet on you, and trust God. Trust God for everything. He'll make it happen.
There you go. And that's what my podcast is about just showing the failures and how we got back up and the positivity and always speaking life into each other, because that's what I'm a life coach. Yes. But at the end of the day, if I'm life coaching, let me show you how it's done. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't take a whole lot of credentials. When I decided to become a life coach, a motivational speaker, I Googled it, I looked. I knew my dad was doing it. I knew my mother was doing it, my stepmom. And I looked into some certifications. I got that. But is it in your heart? Yeah. Is it in your spirit? Is it in your life? Right. Do you walk that way? Yes. When I'm driving here, I'm listening to other motivational speakers. And I will, I have something that I want to tell the women on the 20th, which I've been preparing for. Yeah. And it's it's going to be a good little, a story that I saw that I want to reiterate.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm happy that God put us in the same position.
Yes.
I think that it's supposed to be like this, and I wanted to do this. This is my first daytime podcast because
Yes.
I'm listening, right? I'm
Yes, you
listening, and
are.
God said, "Hey, stop battling when the money's going to come from. It's coming."
It's coming.
Because look at you, you're ready. You're prime. You're 43. This is your time. If it would have happened any time other, then you're not ready.
We
You're
wouldn't have
ready.
been ready, but we're ready
I'm ready
now.
now.
We're ready now.
And you are ready. And it's in the 20th. I can't wait to see
can't
what
wait.
God has in store for you and us. I can't
Amen.
wait. Next week is a big week for the both of us.
Yes, it is.
And it's going to push through, and it's going to set the tone for the next 10 to 20 years.
I can't wait. One of the things that, especially, and I want to leave this because we are building a legacy. And, what I know to be true is that it's going to far surpass us.
Right.
And this will be our kids taking this on.
Yeah.
I believe it. I speak it over our lives. I believe that what we are called to do, it is for the greater of our generations to come. And so I know that this is God.
This is God.
And this is divine connection. And I'm honored, humbled. I thank you for what you're doing. I thank you for your service. I thank you for your heart.
Yeah.
I just thank you. I thank you with a heart of gratitude.
Definitely. This is the only way I know how to get this done is to be able to spotlight it and be as organic as possible.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you for questions. Let's talk about it. Let's figure this out. We're here. It's a beautiful day. We're breathing. We woke up. We said our affirmations. We said our prayers. And we get into work, and this is what it is.
This is what it
And
is. This is what it looks
takes.
like.
This is what it takes, right? You're entrepreneurs. This is what it looks like. You grind, you find, you do what you got to do because God has a purpose. Do not stay asleep mentally or physically. Get up and do what you got to do. Thank you guys again.
Thank
you.
you.
I appreciate you. I love
Thank
you. I see you on the
I love you
20th.
too. Yes, absolutely.
And,
on the 18th.
On the 18th, yes.
I will see you on the 18th.
At the kids' event on my birthday,
I'm
see
coming
you.
to celebrate with you.
Yeah, thank
absolutely.
you. That's my big celebration. I'm coming out.
Yeah.
I got 30 minutes to speak to these kids and fire them up. I cannot wait because that's my passion because we have to save the generation.
We do.
And I am creating a tour probably next year called Save Our Babies.
Yes.
So you will be on that tour.
I will be on there.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys again.
Absolutely.
See you
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you, RH2G. We out. Boom.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
a capsule.
They're mad cause he told the truth. That's why they mad. They're mad cause he wanna be you.